WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. There's a new top dog on Mississippi State's campus, but he's known as the Pirate. Mike Leach is in Starkville tonight.
There's a lot of excitement. There was a big welcome party at the airport this afternoon. Sports director Tom Ebel was also there. He joins us live from Starkville.
Andrea Joey, the 34th head coach in Mississippi State football history. Mike Leach, formerly of the Washington State Cougars. As you can see, the billboards are all over the state. If you didn't know, now you know. We're out here outside of Dudy Noble Field, actually. It's the biggest one we could find with the Jumbotron at Dudy Noble Field, right here outside the Leo Seal complex in Starkville. But the scene over at George M. Bryan Field when Mike Leach arrived was almost felt like, well, it really is a celebrity arriving. Mississippi State welcoming him with a maroon carpet. They rolled about at the airport. Mike Leach was able to meet with fans at George M. Bryan Field, signing shirts, signing cowbells. For what I saw, there were no babies held or signed, but nonetheless, the Bulldogs greeting Mike Leach in a very welcoming Southern hospitality way. Mike Leach also meeting with some of the players who were at the airport as well. Kylan Hill, Marcus Murphy, Garrett Schrader among them. We'll have much more on Mike Leach's landing in Starkville coming up a little later in the show. Reporting here in Starkville, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. We'll send it back to you in Columbus.
In other news today, a large search team recovers a Clay County man reported missing for over a week now. David Box was last seen in northern Clay County early New Year's Day. Floodwaters have hindered the search. Crews were combing the Holka Creek area where Box's car was discovered with no sign of him. When the water went down, crews immediately went to work this morning.
We launched a massive recovery, including drones, cadaver dogs. Actually, we had over 20 people in the ground, and this is what we planned on. We've been waiting for the floodwaters to recede to be able to get the people in there and done it in probably a little over an hour's time. We was able to recover Mr. Box.
And I certainly thank God for all my friends and everyone that have been praying for David recovered. So we got that prayer answered today.
An autopsy has been ordered. Game and Fish, along with crews from West Point, Starkville, Columbus, and Monroe County helped in the search. Clay County deputies and EMA also helped coordinate the effort.
A Caledonia man is killed after a tree he cut down landed on him. Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant says this freak accident happened off Barton Ferry Road Wednesday. 42-year-old Todd Waldrop was pinned under the tree in about 2 feet of water. Merchant tells WCBI it appears the tree may have been hollow when he cut into it while on a hunting trip. Waldrop was found late last night by his wife and a friend after they went looking for him.
You may have heard the old saying, don't be a stick in the mud. It's also a bad idea to be stuck in the mud if you're an accused thief. It apparently happened to 23-year-old Dakota Holcomb twice. Lowndes County deputies were called to a business on Performance Drive back on January 3rd where a gate was damaged and open. A truck registered to Holcomb was found stuck in the mud and attached to a trailer that was reported stolen. Investigators say there were stolen items on the trailer, which was backed up to a piece of equipment. Deputies believe the Hamilton man tried to take that equipment. A few days later, the Lowndes County Schools maintenance shop reported a burglary that happened during the holiday break. Law enforcement say stolen items from that building were found in Holcomb's truck that was stuck in the mud. Now he's being charged with 7 counts of auto burglary and 1 count of burglary of a business. As deputies were looking for Holcomb, it turns out he was actually in the Amory City Jail with 52-year-old Randall Ott. Amory investigators say Holcomb, for the second time, and Ott were found stuck in a field. Officers found stolen property and charged the men with grand larceny. Holcomb is expected to face more charges in Lowndes County.
Nearly 5 months after a Pickens County man was shot and killed by law enforcement, his family still wants answers. On August 28th last year, Gordo police and the Pickens County deputies were called to Wallace Wilder's home at Grandview Apartments to check on him. Officers say Wilder, who has a history of mental health problems, would not let them into the apartment. Well, after forcing their way into the unit, investigators say Wilder threatened officers with a knife. That's when Wilder was shot. He later died at a hospital. The State Bureau of Investigation took over the case, and Pickens County District Attorney Andy Hamlin turned the case over to the State Attorney General's office. Now, family members say they want those officers to move forward.
The first priority is to make sure that the criminal investigation is conducted with integrity and transparency, and it should be done in an expeditious fashion. Justice delayed is certainly adding insult to injury for this family as they continue to wait for answers. So our first priority is to see that the criminal investigation is conducted and completed, and we'll make an evaluation about any other steps after that.
Pickens County Sheriff Todd Hall was one of the officers involved in that incident.
Well, temperatures are well above average for this time of year, and a lot of folks know when we get warm weather this time of year, it usually leads to severe storms, and that's what's going to be coming here in the next few days. Right now, 56 in Columbus. We're still 60 in Tupelo. We're even warmer out to the west, 64 right now in Coffeyville. Temperatures really don't fall much overnight tonight, staying in the mid to upper 50s. Some rain showers do develop overnight. I don't think this is any storm activity, but definitely if you're out and about, you might notice a few sprinkles, so grab that umbrella. What our main story is that we're tracking is this line of showers and storms out to the west on Saturday, early Saturday morning. It gets into our neck of the woods by the late morning hours and into lunchtime. Could be some damaging winds, heavy rain, and even some tornadoes. I'll talk more about that coming up in just a little bit.
Officers across the country are being thanked today for their dedication to serve and protect. This is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio with more on what people are doing to show their gratitude.
They are our neighbors and our community's protectors. Today, our communities are honoring them for what they do every day. They're on the job day and night. Across the country, hundreds of thousands of law enforcement officers are protecting the communities where they live and where you live.
Law enforcement is a tough job. You see the worst of society. You see things that some people never see in their lives.
Starkville Police Sergeant Brandon Lovelady says while some days are tough, community support keeps him grounded.
It's good to have something positive. It lets folks know that they support you, they back you too, that you're not doing this by yourself.
Over the years, businesses and community members have shown their appreciation for the men and women who protect and serve Starkville and Oktibbeha County. Oktibbeha County Sheriff Steve Gladney says from time to time, people will drop off special treats.
I'll come in one day and there'll be things, cakes and different things in the break room, that somebody just out of the goodness of the heart wanted to make sure that that they let us have it.
There's been several times that we've been out and had like a major event happen, and like we didn't get a chance to go eat breakfast, and everybody's hungry, everybody's trying to come back and get reports done, get rest or whatever we needed done, and to come in you'll see like some different treats.
Community members sometimes provide lunches, dinners, even simple thank yous.
Kids in different organizations, they'll color us a letter and say thank you, and that's absolutely the cutest, and we have those things on our wall that we like to keep.
Carpenter says it's those random acts of kindness that keep her going.
It's very nice to know that even though we're out here, we're working, we're 24/7, that we have the community support that entire time. The times that you think that you may have been forgotten or nobody appreciates you, something shows up.
This is a unique place, and I'm certainly proud to be the sheriff of this county where I know that, that we appreciate it and people care about us.
There are a couple of ways you can show your appreciation. You can write a letter to a law enforcement officer, or you can wear blue.
Coming up, an area community foundation has a record year.
When we come back, we take a look at the impact it's having on the area it serves.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
2019 was a record year for the Create Foundation of Northeast Mississippi.
As Allie Martin reports, the numbers are important for the agency and the people it impacts.
When Juanita Floyd started at the Create Foundation, the organization managed $900,000 in assets. 35 years later, Create manages $137 million.
I think when you serve people and serve the donors, then they develop that trust in us.
The Create Foundation manages charitable funds, makes grants, and helps provide nonprofits with permanent funds to support their various missions. In 2019, Create had a banner year, receiving a record $21 million in donations, while assets grew by $29 million. Mike Claiborne is president of Create.
There's a very long list of things that are supported, and of course, you know, a lot of it is done just in partnership with a lot of different groups. We have 13 community affiliates, which in essence are the community foundation for their community or county, and so Create partners with those groups to help administer their fund.
Floyd has many stories of how Create has impacted people's lives. She especially likes to tell the story of a scholarship fund that was a life changer for one family.
This particular student had the scholarship, and I always interacted with the dad. The dad would call and said, okay, would you release the money for this semester? Release the money. The last year when the student, her last payment from the fund, the dad walked in here and he said, I came here to thank you. And I said, well, it's not me, it was the donor. And he said, well, you administered it. And this was a white gentleman, and he looked at me and he said, may I give you a hug? And I said, of course. And he said, let me tell you this. He said, if it had not been for that scholarship, my daughter would not have been able to finish college. You see, I had to move. I lost, my wife became very ill. The job, I lost my job. And he said that scholarship made a difference.
Create looks to build on the previous year and continue improving the quality of life in the region through relationships built on trust. In Tupelo, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Create operates with a staff of, get this, just 7 people. All right, well, all eyes turning to weather as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, it seems like we just can't catch a break on the weekends. This one could be a little stronger than the last ones with the gusty wind potential and the potential for even more tornadoes. The last thing we need for the next few days. Of course, I'll have that full forecast coming up right after this.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Trevor Burchett.
Clouds and even a few light showers are starting to filter into the area late on this Thursday evening. Nothing major happening right now, but take a look off to the west. This is the storm system that we're tracking right now in the Four Corners region in northeastern New Mexico. This is going to swing around, pick up some of that Gulf moisture and energy, and move into our neck of the woods late Friday into the day on Saturday. And of course, this is the reason that we are tracking the chance for some severe weather early on Saturday. We'll talk about all of that coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's take a look at what's going on right now in Starkville. This is a view right there at Highway 12 and Spring Street near Strange Brew. Temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. This showing a clear sky, but there are a few clouds starting to filter in, and that's going to continue through the overnight hours. Clouds continuing, maybe even a few showers as we get past midnight or so. But notice, temperatures not falling much. We're 59 right now. We're only going to be into the mid-50s by the overnight hours, so temperatures staying really steady as that warm, moist air continues to filter on in here. Through the day tomorrow, even warmer than today. I think a lot of areas will get close to that 60-degree mark. We've got the chance in here for some shower and storm activity. This is not the severe weather we're talking about, though. I think by 3 o'clock into the evening hours, we could see some heavier rain in spots, maybe a rumble of thunder, but really, I don't think that's going to be our reason for concern. I'll show you that on Futurecast. Maybe a little bit of light rain by lunchtime. Here's this batch of showers and storms we're going to keep an eye on. Maybe a quick gust of wind with this, but really this is not at all what we are worried about. What we're worried about is way back here off to the west, coming through Arkansas and the Arklatex region. That line of storms way back there by midnight on Saturday morning will get closer to us through the morning hours on Saturday. And that is why we have that risk for severe weather. A level 3 out of 5 for much of the area. Everybody else in a level 2. but everybody is under the threat for some severe weather on Saturday. I'll take you through the rest of that futurecast. Starting off midnight on Saturday, notice it gets closer to the Mississippi River by 5 or 6 a.m., possibly a little closer to I-55 by 7 a.m. This area is what we're going to be watching for, some very gusty winds, possibly up to 75 or 80 miles an hour. But notice down to the south near Natchez and Vicksburg, these little dots is what we're going to watch for the potential for some supercells to form out ahead of the line. If this makes it up into our area, that would increase our tornado potential. Not to say we can't get an isolated tornado within the line, but these isolated cells are going to be more prone to produce tornadoes. So that gets a little closer to us by lunchtime, right through the middle of our area by about 11 a.m., closer to the Golden Triangle just after lunchtime, and then out of here by 3 or 4 o'clock. So the afternoon on Saturday, evening on Saturday, looking relatively nice. We've just got to get those storms out of here first. So best chance is going to be for some very strong winds. Not your regular thunderstorm winds. We're talking 80 miles an hour. The potential for some tornadoes and some flash flooding in spots. After that, Sunday not looking bad, pretty decent, a little cooler. But after that, hope you enjoy Sunday while you can. More chances for rain and storms back into the forecast with highs staying well above average near 70.
Can't catch a break.
Can't catch a break at all. They're keeping us busy.
Yeah, what forecast? But I know y'all have been honing in on this for quite a while.
Yes,
so.
and we'll continue to keep an eye on things as we get closer.
All right,
All right,
sounds
thanks.
good. All right, there's a new man in charge of Mississippi State football, and he has arrived. We're live from Starkville, talking to the new state coach next in sports.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Nothing about this season for Mississippi State football has been expected, including the newest MSU coaching hire, former Washington State head coach Mike Leach. Leach stepping onto the tarmac at Georgia and Bryan Airport this afternoon as the newest leader of Bulldog football. WCBI Sports' Tom Ebel was there and joins us live from Starkville with more. Hey, Tom.
Courtney, here outside Davis Wade Stadium, the newest home of Mike Leach. You mentioned it. Former head coach of Washington State, coming off leading the Cougars to 5 straight bowl games, and of course notably coaching Gardner Minshew to get him into the NFL ranks and getting him onto the national scene. So the scene earlier at Georgia and Bryan Field, Mike Leach and John Cohen arriving earlier today at about 3:15. Mike Leach greeted with the maroon carpet. The Bulldogs pulling out all the stops for the newest head coach, the 34th head coach in Mississippi State football history. Head coach Mike Leach meeting with some of the players coming off the tarmac. Kylan Hill, Garrett Schrader, Marcus Murphy, Kobe Jones, Jarian Jones were just some of the ones that we were able to catch as a group at Georgia and Bryan Field. And then after that, getting a little bit of Southern hospitality. Leach signing cowbells, signing shirts. There weren't any babies or to be held or anyone to be signed foreheads, but who knows with Mike Leach. He's known as one of the more eccentric head coaches in college football. He's known as the architect of the air raid system, which will be really interesting come football season. Because with Mississippi State football, we're used to seeing grounding pound, running the football, tough ground out drives. Now it's going to be a lot of passing, opening up the field, more of a spread offense. So we'll see what happens come football season. As you can tell, who isn't ready for football season right now? It's January 8th. What day is it? No one even knows. This coaching search, John Cohen met Mike Leach down in Key West. It was reported yesterday. 24 hours later, Mike Leach is here in Starkville, the newest head coach of Mississippi State football. We'll hear more from Leach tomorrow for his introductory press conference. That's at noon at the Leo Seal Football Complex here on Mississippi State's campus. It's open to the public, so as a Bulldog fan, you're welcome to stop by and greet Coach Leach as he gets ready for the college football season. But Courtney, Egg Bowl 2020, it's going to be Mike Leach and Lane Kiffin. Does it get any better than that? Reporting here outside Davis Wade Stadium, Tom Ebel for WCBI Sports. Courtney, back to you.
Thank you, Tom. And like he said, I don't think it gets any better than Lane Kiffin and Mike Leach in the 2020 Egg Bowl. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. Well, it didn't take long for Mississippi State former head coach Joe Moorhead to find a new potential home. Sources saying that Moorhead has emerged as the leading candidate at Oregon as the Ducks' next offensive coordinator. After Coach Moorhead's firing, the former head coach was tabbed as one of the highest demanding assistants available on the market at this time. Moorhead was fired after 2 seasons with a 14-12 overall record, 7-9 in conference play. The new coaching opportunities continue. This one out of Oxford. Memphis football has hired former Ole Miss defensive coordinator Mike McIntyre as the Tigers' newest defensive coordinator. Memphis making it official this afternoon, saying Coach McIntyre was, quote, the perfect fit to lead the Tigers defense. Coach McIntyre's Ole Miss held Memphis this past season to 15 points in the season opener. Under Coach McIntyre, Ole Miss's defense jumped from 114 to 85 in NCAA rankings for Ole Miss's total defense. So definitely took Ole Miss's defense, improved them last year. It'll be great to see what he does at Memphis. I think he'll do a fantastic job there.
Yeah, big candidate there.
Yes,
off the board.
absolutely.
A lot of folks were looking for McIntyre.
Yes.
But I had to Google why Mike Leach is called the
Thank
Pirates.
you, because I've been asking everybody.
Because he has a fascination with pirates.
Well, it'll be in Starkville for probably the next few years.
No?
There you go.
A lot of
All right.
Pirates.
See you later. All right, we'll be right back.
For the latest on that severe weather threat, let me get you to that 7-day. There we go. Chance for some showers and storms on Saturday. For the latest on that severe weather threat, you can visit our website at wcbi.com/weather. After that, though, Sunday is our one nice day, so enjoy it while you can. Temperature's a little cooler. There you go. I got one good day in for you. And then after that, more showers, maybe some storms. Not looking severe at this point, but keep that umbrella, keep that rain jacket handy. You're definitely going to need it.
Well, thankfully, past Sunday, even though the weather's not great, is not
It's not
looking
going to be
like
as bad.
Saturday.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
At least warm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Feeling like spring.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a good night.